It's 2021. We don't need people being so dumb. It's not our fault back in the day. We didn't know better. I did many of these exercises growing up. Coach Greg, and today I'm going over the top 10 never again. 10 exercises that you should just never do again. They're overrated, they're dangerous, they're stupid, they don't build muscle, they're kind of useless. Just forget about them. They might have been popular at one time, not anymore. So here it is, the top 10 never again. Number 1, BOSU ball balance bullshit. You know, exercises on a BOSU ball, squats, bicep curls, side laterals, you name it. Why risk injury doing BOSU ball balance exercises when most people can barely do the exercise correctly in the first place? You're going to start squatting with weight on your back on a BOSU ball thinking you're going to get bigger quads like that? You're doing bicep curls standing on a ball? Why? Do those exercises on their own. If you're trying out for Cirque du Soleil and you want to balance on a ball, be my guest. But if you're trying to build muscle, forget about the BOSU ball and move on to something that works. Number 2, ass to grass squats. You don't need to squat this deep to build muscle. Deeper doesn't mean better. I think she said that last night. Unless you're born with the hip sockets to handle it, it's going to be dangerous for you. I know it was dangerous for me. I actually am born with not the proper kind of hips to do deep squats. I did a lot of squats in my day, and just to parallel, and I ended up needing surgery because of it. Femoral acetabular impingement cam type I had. You might also have something like this too. So squat comfortably. Don't squat deeper than last time. Squat as deep as is comfortable for you. Don't risk injury, and if you're doing a butt wink at the bottom and your back's bending out of shape, you're going too low, you need to stop. We all carry a certain amount of flexibility, and the smart thing is to not go further than your body allows you. Number 3, side bends. Not only can it be dangerous to the lower back, it's also going to thicken your waist. You're trying to build your obliques. You think you're building nice oblique muscles, but all you're doing is getting a thicker waistline. Everyone wants a smaller waist. Men, women, circles. Why are we trying to thicken what we're trying to shrink? It's not going to give you the six-pack that you wanted, especially with heavier weights. It's even more dangerous. It's simply an exercise we shouldn't be doing anymore. This was one of the unfortunate exercises I did when I was 10 years old, 35 years ago, when we didn't know better. Forget side bends, do something else. Number 4, front raises. These need to stop. This muscle's already overdeveloped. There's no point in developing an overdeveloped muscle. These can be done by doing side laterals or bent over side laterals. One of the reasons I think people keep doing this exercise is because it looks cool in the gym to be lifting the dumbbell up. You can see the muscles flexing in the mirror. Just flex after you do a set. You don't need to see yourself doing the front raise. There's other better exercises for the delts. You do not need this exercise. It's one to abandon and move on to the next. Number 5, narrow grip upright rows. This can lead to shoulder impingement and is simply not an exercise we should be doing. It carries too great a risk of shoulder injury, and if you want to do these, why not do them with a wider grip to make it safer? No reason to do it narrow. There are plenty of other exercises out there, so leave this to at least wide or don't do them at all. Number 6, external rotations with dumbbells. You're not working against gravity. It doesn't make sense to do them with a dumbbell. It's useless to do chest presses and flies while standing up carrying a dumbbell. To do these exercises correctly, you need to use cables or bands. Number 7, behind the neck pull downs. This is another old school exercise that's been proven to not be as effective as pulling to the front. Not only is it more likely to cause injury to the rotator cuff, it's also harder to lift as much weight while lifting behind the neck. So when doing lat pull downs, pull to the front. Number 8, similar to the last one, behind the neck shoulder press. This is another dangerous old school exercise we used to do back in the day. Most people do not have the shoulder flexibility required to do this exercise effectively. They wind up sticking their necks forward and don't have the strength or flexibility to press properly in this position. Number 9, good mornings. Commonly performed exercise by powerlifters to strengthen the lower back. However, for most people, you can simply end up hurting your lower back. Loading up a bunch of weight on your back and then leaning forward and then standing upright is a good way to get your back hurt. It places a lot of force on the lower back when bending forward, and if you go too heavy in particular, you're very likely to get injured. It's simply not a safe and effective exercise that the majority of people should be doing. Number 10, full sit-ups. Back in the day, we used to put our feet under the couch and do sit-ups, or we'd have a partner sit on our feet and press us down. We'd see how many sit-ups we could do in a minute. It was a sprint competition. This is a lot more dangerous to the lower back, and rather than doing these full sit-ups, just do crunches instead. There's no reason to do full sit-ups like this anymore. Simple crunches will suffice. And there you have it, the top 10, never again. Hopefully we go to the gym and we won't see people doing these exercises. It's 2021, we don't need people being so dumb. It's not our fault back in the day, we didn't know better. I did many of these exercises growing up. The research is clear, they shouldn't be done, and if you do it, well, that's on you. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching, Greg Doucette, IPE Pro. Blooping up 2 videos, be sure to subscribe to the newsletter, and until next time, I am out. Most people are not as flexible in the shoulders. Most people... Just cat, come on.